been a minute. I missed you. Did you miss me? Okay, one thing about me, I'm gonna read a book. Like, I might have homework backed up due, but you know, I'm gonna pick up a book, okay? Hey, what's up? My name is Isha. If you're new here, you stick around and subscribe for more content, more videos, all that. All my social medias will be linked down below, and let's get into this video. So this year I read about 134 books, and it's only December 12th, so I'm not done. If I have anything else to say, then it'll be like I'll talk about it in a vlog or something, but I don't know how I found time to read all these books, but you know, priorities. So let's jump right into it. I made a list about my top rated books out of the 134 books that I read. So these are like the best of the best that I read this year. I'm really excited to talk about them because one thing about me, I'm gonna read a book. Like, I might have homework due, but you know, I'm gonna pick up a book, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm sad, I'm gonna pick up a book. I wanna cry, I'm gonna pick up a book. I'm bored, I'm gonna pick up a book. And I recently just got a Kindle, so you already know, okay? And these are all my opinion. If you do not agree with my rating, we can discuss it in the comments, okay? Because these books, I got a war for them. My goal was to read 100 books. I read 134, so then like I tried to up my goal to 150. I might meet it because it's only the 12. Okay, so update. I know in the video I said I read 134 books, and I said that my goal was to read like 150. My original goal was 100, and I surpassed it, so then I made it 150, and I reached my goal. Just in case you were wondering. So we're gonna start with the first book that I see, Restore Me. Okay, this book, y'all, she did her thing. I have not read the second book yet, but I have it, and I haven't read her little novella either, but I have that too. Book, read the trigger warnings. This book right here, look at the tabs. Okay, look at the tabs. This book right here did it for me. The way Dominic was in love with her for years and like couldn't really commit to anybody because he was so in love with her. She's a Black MC, so you know, I love this book even more because like they're just a Black successful couple. Basically, she lost her husband, and her husband is Dominic's best friend. Was Dominic's best friend. She swore off dating. So basically, she swore off dating. She was like, I'm not gonna date, blah blah blah. You know how that always ends up. She hasn't touched anybody or had sex with anybody because she swore off dating. And here comes Dominic because they get paired to work together on a work project, and that's how it just all transpires. Okay, I don't know if I even explained that right, but if you got it, you got it, and if you got it, you understand me. The next book I'm gonna talk about is Terms and Conditions. Y'all, this book has to be in my top 5 reads of the year. First and foremost, her third book's coming out next year in January. Cal's book. I'm so excited. But Iris, literally, I don't think I related to a book character as much as I related to her. Let me give you a backstory. So the Dreamland Being series is following 3 brothers. Their grandfather passed away. They had to meet certain requirements in the will to retain their half of the company. So basically, he has to get married and have a kid to inherit his inheritance. So he basically drove away like all the girls that were willing to sign a contract and get married. He basically ran them all off, and at the last minute Iris decides that she's gonna help him out and marry him. Iris, another Black MC, so you know, I love that. Love to see a Black girl get spoiled. She's his assistant, is afraid of commitment. She doesn't like commitment. Declan is the ultimate grump. He does not want to get married. He doesn't want relationships. He's basically like an asshole, not gonna lie, but he's like an asshole to everybody but her. But then like, I don't know, because like certain parts in this book, I'm just like, the way he talked to her and the way like he didn't even properly grovel. Like he didn't really grovel. He just like did stuff to make up for it, but like he didn't really, you know, he didn't beg for her forgiveness like I wanted him to. Like he should have been down on his knees begging for her forgiveness the way he talked to her. It's amazing, it's wonderful. This is my favorite plant girl. If you can tell, I'm bad at describing books because I like to ramble and not get my point across. Okay, so the next book is a recent book that just came out, The Do-Over. I got it when it first came out, right in the day. I love it. It's so cute. Emily, and she gets stuck in a time loop on Valentine's Day, and on Valentine's Day she wrecks her car before she goes to school, number one, and then she finds her boyfriend cheating on her, number two, and then when she goes home she finds out that her parents are divorced, so she splits her time between her mom and her dad. She finds out that her dad, his wife, and her stepbrothers are moving to Texas because he gets a promotion. So she's basically going through a lot on this Valentine's Day, and this is the day that she gets stuck in through the time loop. So every day is repeating, the same crisis is happening. She's trying to avert the car accident. She's trying to make it like a perfect Valentine's Day so that she can get out of the time loop. She keeps running in to Nick every single Valentine's Day. Somehow, some way, she runs into Nick. And Nick is also the person that she crashes into on the first Valentine's Day, and she gets stuck in the time loop. And while reading the book, I'm reading it and I'm like, so is he stuck in the time loop with her? Because like certain time loop books, they get stuck in the time loop with them, and they like figure out that they're stuck in the time loop after a certain amount of days. He was not stuck in the time loop. So every time they would interact with each other and talk to each other, he was just talking to her and interacting with her because he liked her. It's a really good book. It's a YA book. I'm gonna go with the same author again. Better Than Movies. I read this year. I kept putting it off and I finally read it. Bro, I think this is in my top 5 of the year. It is so good. I love Liz and Wes so much. Liz is a hopeless romantic. Like, she lost her mom and she's like the ultimate love lover. She's like the ultimate hopeless romantic. She lost her mom, and her mom was a screenwriter, and she used to watch like romance movies with her mom, so she wanted to have her life be like a romance movie. So she like dresses quirky, she loves love, she wants to like basically write her own story. Crush comes back into town. She wants to basically make him all they can be dates at prom. She wants to have the perfect prom experience. And Wes is her next door neighbor that she hates. Okay, she does not like him. They're like in a parking spot war. This boy is obsessed with her. Like, if you read the book and the way he just does everything that she wants him to do, he's obsessed with her. How did she not notice? I don't know. This gets Wes to help get Michael to notice her. And that's the list of dates. Wes Bennett did his damn thing. Okay, so the next one is going to be The Prince Bride. Okay, if you love The Princess Diaries, let's talk about how I left in the car and it melted, but ignore that. The whole book's falling apart. It is a marriage of convenience as well, or like arranged marriage. Netta is a black female singer. Her dad is like a billionaire, and when he passes away, in his will that her and her half-sister can only inherit the company if they marry. Her mom finds, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Gal, and he is literally a prince. And that is like this, I don't want to do it love, I don't do it need that. She's like emotionally closed off. He's like this goofball, he's like playboy. So you can just tell how this is gonna end out. A girl through and through. Like, after the wall in Winnipeg, she had me hooked on every word she writes. Okay, I'm gonna eat up the books. Okay, so when she dropped this one out of nowhere, no warning, she dropped it. I'm like, okay, in the cart, I'm buying it, I need it now. So when I tell y'all, this book, it came out in October, right? I finished this book in like 3 days. I had an exam to study for. I was like, exam, I'm reading this book. I ate this book up, okay? It's so fucking good. It's following Gracie, and the Grump, he's a superhero. And she is on the run from like a mafia because her parents stole money from them because her parents are working for them. And she basically on the run. She's hiding away her whole life. She gets exposed because of the superhero that lands in her backyard, and it basically follows them falling in love, and it's so fucking cute. And the way Marijuana writes, it's always a slow burn. It's always good. Her comedy, her lines, it's just the banter be A1. My next one is Our Rose Leave Here. Another Marijuana. Okay, it's a small town romance. It follows Aurora, but everybody's calling him Rose. He ends up wearing out his guest house. and he does not know because his son rented out to her and does not tell him. And he's like the sheriff, and it basically just follows her trying to get back into the swing of life. She recently broke up with her ex of 10 years, moved back to her hometown to a piece of her mom because she also lost her mom a while ago too. So this book is really cute. This one also Mari's fond of for it, so I put this one off because I don't really know why. I was gonna read this one after I read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, because Diana is Nessa's best friend if you read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This book follows Diana in Dallas. Diana received custody of both of her nephews after her brother passed away. So she's basically raising the two boys. She's 28 and she moves next door to Dallas, well, across the street from Dallas. They're neighbors. He's really grumpy at first because like he's going through a divorce. He's been separated from his wife for a while. Dallas is the coach of Josh's, her nephew's baseball team with each other, wizarding each other, and they basically are just so cute. If you love slow burns and Mari's about it, you gotta read it. Never get over it. Her second book's coming out next year. I'm really excited for it. So this is a small time romance, and she is a twin. So the girl in here is Naomi. She's a twin, and her twin sister has a kid that Naomi never knew about. Naomi is the people pleaser. She wants to make everyone happy. She wants to do everything by the rules. Her sister, complete opposite, criminal, all that. So when she goes to a small town, her sister steals her identity basically and steals her car. So he follows her and Knox's story, because Knox is like a grump that doesn't want to like her but ends up helping her out like a whole bunch. There's a lot of funny stuff that happens in this book. The Best Thing by Maria, because I know I just talked about her books. The Best Thing is so good. So The Best Thing follows Lenny and Jonah. She was an MMA fighter, and you know, something happens, so she stops fighting. So she runs an MMA gym type thing, like she runs the gym. Jonah is a rugby player, and it's like a second chance romance. They fell out. He was going through something, and then when she was trying to reach him, he didn't respond, and basically it's a second chance romance. The next book I'm gonna talk about is My Son. So this is a fake dating following Gianna and Clay. Gianna is a PR rep for Clay's football team. He's in college, he's a football player, he's really good. He wants to make his ex-girlfriend jealous so they can get back together. Gianna she has like no dating experience. She really wants to get the guitar singer that sings at the cafe she goes to all the time to notice her. So she gets Clay to help her, and she helps Clay out. Romance, football romances, you're gonna like this one. When Nicholas and Naomi leading up to their wedding in this book, and basically his mom was like super prestigious. She's very snobby, and she basically took over like the wedding planning. Each of them are trying to get the other to break up the wedding and stop the wedding from happening. So it's following them pranking each other and them falling back in love with each other. Okay, so Before We Were Strangers, this book is based in New York. It follows Matt and Grace, second chance romance. They find each other, they fall in love. Then he gets this opportunity to, he's a photographer, he gets this opportunity to photograph abroad, and he takes the opportunity and they fall out of contact. And one day on the train, he sees her on the train, they see each other, they reconnect. This one has a plot twist. I absolutely love it. It's a quick read. I finished it in like 2 days. So the next one is Exodus. Now this one was the first book I read this year that had me bawling. It's the second book in the Ravenswood trilogy. Basically it is following the past and the present of Cecilia, and what she went through back then, and she comes back to town and rediscovers everything, and she finds her love of her life, and she wants answers to what happened in the past. Y'all, this was the first book that I read in 2022 that was tabbing, and it looks a mess. Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. I'm probably gonna have to go back through it and like re-tab. Series I'm not gonna say it saved my life, but like it had like a huge impact on reading, and just I love these people so much. I think about, there's not a day that goes by I do not think about them. Since I read this book, since I read this series, there's not a day that goes by that I have not thought about them. Since I read the very first book, and if you know, you know, I'm talking about the Addicted Touch Calloway series. Ooh, now these people have my whole heart, and I already have like 3 tattoos planned for them. It's to go. I just need to make my appointment. It's a series this year. I started it last year, and I've been in love with them since I read it. This Calloway series follows 3 sisters, and Lily, Rose, and Daisy. Addicted books are following Lily and Lo. Lily is a sex addict and Lo is alcoholic. So it follows them going through that journey with their addictions. Well, Lily learning to deal with her addictions, and Lo becoming sober and fighting his addiction. And the love they have for each other is so beautiful. Best friends to lovers. In the beginning of the series, they are fake dating. Also, they have books on their kids. Perfect. They're the best people. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about them. It's Hero. We have first book in the Calloway part of the Addicted Touch Calloway series. This is Rose and Connor. Rose and Connor are rivals to lover. They are so perfect. The way Rose is just selfish in the way she loves her sister, the way she is just so empowering, and like when I think of who I want to be like, it's this woman right here. Is following them in a reality show, and then Reich and Daisy. So much hate for no reason. I get the age gap. Teen, he's 25. Like, I get he deals with anxiety, depression. She always is like, she's a yes girl. She always wants to say yes. She's a people pleaser, and she always wants to be happy. And Reich helps her through that because he sees that she is struggling, and he's like one of the only people that sees that she's struggling. I just feel like their friendship is so beautiful, and how it blooms into what it blooms into. Their book, I rated 5 stars. What? Swear on this life. It follows Emmeline's, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She's an expired writer, and her childhood best friend slash lover writes a novel. Her roommate brings it home. She's like, you have to read this book. Knows that it's her childhood best friend that wrote the book. So as she's reading the book, she gets flashbacks of their childhood, follows through all the things they went through. She like pretty good trigger warnings for this book. Okay, so YA books have like saved my reading slump this year because they're just so good. Letters to the Lost is such a good YA book. It's following Jules and Declan dealing with grief and depression, and her mother recently passed away, and she's been writing letters to her mother and leaving it at her grave. Declan has community service, and his community service, he mow the lawn, do the lawn work for the cemetery he's doing the lawn work for is the cemetery of Jules' mother. So as she's writing the letter, she leaves the letter there. He finds the letter and he writes back to the letter. They start writing letters back and forth to each other, and they do it anonymously. I just love the way they just like grow through this book. This is the second book in the series. This one is following Declan's best friend Rev and Emma. Rev was in a abusive home. He's adopted, and his father recently sent him a letter. It goes through all the stages of him processing that. And Emma is a video game designer. She goes through harassing online, through a home life that is this environment for her. Her and Rev meet by accident behind a church. Another 5-star book is 7 Days in June. So 7 Days in June, get your warnings, because I thought it was gonna look a cute little book, but no, like the trauma in this book is real. It follows Ava and Sean. It's a second chance romance. They're both authors, and they both write about each other. The way I used to be, read the trigger warnings before you read this book. This book right here had me crying within like the first few pages. The book is following an Eden. She's assaulted. It just follows how she overcomes that and that trauma and trying to adjust to her life. This one is Arthur's Voice. I read this towards the beginning of the year. It's a small-time romance book. It follows Arthur, who he cannot speak. It follows Bree. She went through a traumatic experience, and she decides to move to a small town, and she's the first person that like actually tries to talk to Arthur in the small town. How she tries to overcome it, and how he overcomes being mute and never talking, and no one ever like really caring about his existence. This book wrecked me. Okay, so good. It follows Elena and Jax. Jax is an F1 racer. This is a series of 4 books. He's an F1 racer. It's the third book, by the way. She's a PR rep. She basically helps athletes with their image. So she goes to live with Jax and follows Jax around on tour to keep him out of trouble. Basically, read trigger warnings for this as well, because Elena goes through so much throughout her childhood, and Jax is constantly going through stuff. He has anxiety, depression. It's very beautifully written and it makes you cry. So, alright, it starts with us. I love this book. You already know what this book is, following Lily and Atlas story. If you read Ends With Us, the second book in that, I just wanted them to get their happy ending, and they did. So I really love that. The next, these three, it's The Edens. It's a series, The Edens. I think that's the series name. These books are so good. I love it. It's a small town romance book. First book is following I can't say her name. Wynn and Griffin. He is a sheriff and he is a farm owner. It basically just follows them being friends with benefits to lovers. Then we have Memphis Knox. Memphis and Knox are so cute. This is a single mom. She just moved to their small town, and Knox is a restaurant owner. She basically is living in his guest house. His sister set it up. Memphis is working at their hotel, and their hotel also has Knox's restaurant in the back, so they're always running into each other. So I love it. Okay, Knox is then we have this one. Okay, people do not like this one. I understand why. I love it. So this is a second chance romance. Foster, they fall in love when she's in college. He didn't go to school. He's an MMA fighter. He like breaks up with her mysteriously for no reason. Years later, moves to her small town. She absolutely hates him. My camera's about to die again. I'm trying to like. Okay, next we have is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. If you know, you know. Okay, these songs, it's Bella and Conrad and Jeremiah, her love story between the three of them. So every summer to the summer house, we spend all summer together. She's in love with Conrad since she's a little kid. The second book is not my favorite, but the third and the first I love. You saw her love story with the Fisher Boys. So Twisted Games, following Bridget and Reese. Reese is her bodyguard and Bridget is a princess. It's basically a perverted love story. It's been tension the whole time that they've been working together, and they're like obsessed with each other. Reese is like this 6'5", like muscular, tattooed man, and she's just like this pretty little blonde, fluffy, you know. Her brother, like when the future king steps down from his title, that's what he does. So she becomes future queen. My girl Bridget, breaking down stereotypes, period. My next one is The Mixtape. I love this book. Don't mind the tabs, because the tabs are not tabbing. Okay, it follows Emery and Oliver. He is a single parent, aspiring chef. Oliver is a singer, and his twin brother passed away. His anxiety, his stress, his depression, and very shy. And I love a good shy boy. Blush, and they don't know how to act around it. Ugh, it's so cute. And she's like this very extroverted, happy, bubbly person. She gets fired from her job, then he offers her job. It has like a lot of like song references in the book as well. Another book, reminders of him, that was 5 stars. It dropped, it was already in my cart. I was already checking out. This book made me fucking ball. It's following Kenya and Ledger. So Kenya was in prison for a car accident that happened, in prison for 4 years, and her car accident with her boyfriend at the time, Scott. He died in the car accident. She was pregnant with his kid at the time. When Ledger is Scott's best friend and parent to her daughter, to build a connection with her daughter. I almost forgot to talk about the book of the year for me. This book, you guys. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 best books, right under a detached color series. They're right under there, and if they're right under there, you know they're good. I love them so much. The friend group, the characters, everything. Okay, it's following Shannon like the river. Let me shut up. Okay, this book is following Shannon and Johnny. Shannon is in an abusive house. Breathe trigger warnings. Johnny is a rugby player. He's dealing with stuff on his own, and she is dealing in an abusive household. And it's based in like 2005, so like it has like a lot of like CD references. I have one of my favorite songs mentioned in this book. It's just amazing. It follows their growth and their journey and her going through abuse, and you just have to read the book. You will cry during both books. Perfect. Their friend groups are amazing. They make me laugh so much, and I genuinely like love them. Excuse me while I ugly cry. Gwen and Carter. It's a predominantly white friend group. She is dealing with a lot of racist remarks, and she was like disassociates herself from those people. Carter, the tall, smart, talking handsome at the school, and she loses her notebook, all her secrets. She makes lists. She can talk about everything. It's like for her to help her try to get her notebook back. She finds herself through this book. She makes black friends, and she finds who she is as a person. Love letters to it's very heart-wrenching. It's very emotional. Like, you go through the whole book and you're like, when are they gonna get together? When are they gonna get together? And y'all, it literally, when you're in emotions, it's never the right time for them. You like going through all the emotions in the world, you have to read it. It's Wash Day. This is stories of 4 girls and their process through natural hair, friendship, and just everything. I love them. Every summer after, it's a 5-star rating for me. I know some people do not like it. Sam and Persephone at lake houses, growing up next to each other. Every summer they spend it together. Sam and Persephone were like best friends. Well, weren't best friends. They were in a relationship, and then it happens. They break up. You know, second chance romance. If you love Love in Other Words, you will love it. I read this book this year too. Moment of silence. Okay, get a moment of silence for this book. Beach Read is that book. They're so perfect. Oh my gosh. January. I love them. Okay, like an enemies to lovers, small town romance book. Enemies in college. She thought he hated her. All college, she could not stand him. She thought he was better than everybody else. You know how it goes. Passes away, and she inherits his beach house. That's who her next door neighbor is. Augustus. Both authors, so they both write book. This pact to where he's gonna write a romance book and she's gonna write like a morbid book or whatever. This is like perfect. If you know, you know. She was like, you broke up with your girlfriend at the party? He was like, why would you break with your girlfriend at the party? He was like, Jared, why do you think? And I was just like, I love them so much. Okay, so that is the end of my top books I read in 2022. If you like this video and you want more book content, just let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy, and all my social media will be linked down below. Don't forget to stay up and stay blessed, and my camera is blinking at me again. Peace out.